Why, hello, everyone. Um, we had a couple of comments, and I think they are worth addressing. Thank you so much to those of you who keep asking questions and keep pushing us harder to try to explain it differently or do something different with what we put out there. Somebody heard multiple times us say, don't present the words like shower, going to the bathroom, doing the task. We're going to brush your teeth. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. The task words. And they said, but I'm doing those tasks. How do I not talk about the task that we're doing? And doesn't the person want to know what we're about to do? I realized we might have missed a key component there. At PAC, it's never, always, or never. It's never, always, or never. Meaning, there's no hard, fast rule about words you should say or words you shouldn't say. How and when you introduce those task words are really important. So today I thought we would go a little bit into how do you bring up things like going to the bathroom or giving a cue that we're going to do a shower or some other thing that's happening, that's about to happen, when, yeah, we want the language to match the visual. And we want it to be timely. We want it to give the person information. So Teepa is going to do a little bit of talking us through. This is from Pack Skills Make the Difference, one of our videos that has tons of great content in it. But she talks a little bit about knowing your agenda without showing your agenda. Okay, so here we go. We'll try it out.
We're using whatever little bit there is left to make sure that the two people involved in this are actually communicating with each other with what they have left. Because by the end of the disease, it's not about words, and it's not even about showing people things. It's doing things. But all too often we end up doing things to people rather than doing things with people because we can't figure out how to get connected. And it makes it really challenging for both of us. Do this. Take your agenda and look at it. Now, you need to put it right here, right where it belongs. You need to know your agenda. Put it right there. But now take it and put it in your back pocket. You need to not show your agenda. So you know your agenda, but you don't show your agenda. You always put it in the back pocket. It comes later. You need to know what it is. You don't want to forget what it is. You want to have in your mind, what is it I want to achieve? What is it I want to do? What is it they need help with? But what you can't do is shove it out there as the first piece of interaction. Because what you get all too often for people with dementia is they push back at you. And then we're labeling them when in fact we're triggering what it is that started all this. A core skill is, what is this? The agenda. Your agenda, their agenda. We've got to acknowledge agenda. What do I need to do with her agenda if she shows it to me? Acknowledge it. I need to tell her, I saw your agenda. I got the agenda. I'm with that agenda. I hear the agenda. I don't have to agree with the agenda, but I have to acknowledge the agenda.
All right, so team, what kind of things did that bring to mind for you when you saw Teepa talking about that agenda and the acknowledgement that there's two agendas going on?
Well, it was an aha for me years ago, the first time I heard her say, they have an agenda too.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. There's locomotion going in the direction I'm in charging it. And
Chugga. And wait a second, they have one too? Oh yeah, it's a person over there.
Who has an agenda? Just because they're sitting there doesn't mean they don't have an agenda, if that's what you're approaching. So that to me was the big, like, what?
Yeah, cool. That idea that even if I look like I'm just sitting there, I may be having a thought. I may be thinking about going to do something. I may be thinking about something I just did. Even if I'm still stationary, I might have an agenda going on up there. Now, I may not. I may just be sitting and relaxing, and that's cool too. But assessing first and then acknowledging that agenda. Cool. What about for you, Shelley?
Yeah, well, I was thinking the same thing about this whole idea that I have to let go if what I'm thinking I want to do is not what the person's ready for.
Yeah,
As well.
just because I'm ready to do the next thing,
Right.
my agenda that I brought in with me, it doesn't mean that it's a perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So first, everybody on Facebook world, do that. Hold on to that agenda. You've got that agenda. You've got to get it. Letting go of it for just a few minutes to check in and see, is there a space for these agendas to even come together right now? Or do we need a little bit more time before we can make some sort of match? Because otherwise it's going to be me forcing my agenda as much as I can to get it done. Then it's less about a relationship and more about the task.
Yeah, I also noticed in that vein, Amanda, Teepa said it's very brief, but about, are we connected enough, or have we gotten connected? So she mentioned that as, yeah, it's there, you still got it, but let's focus on the connection before we bring in the task, which in PPA, we know we call that the positive personal connection. But
you got it. So what you're about to see now is a little bit later in the video, about 4 minutes later, after we talk about the I'm sorries, because I have to use them a lot. And I was just learning this stuff. This was my very first touch with PAC almost 5 years ago now, maybe 6 years ago. And so I did what Catherine's talking about. I used my positive physical approach. I knocked, I said, hey, 6 feet away. I offered my hand. It sort of dropped out of visual range, but I'm learning. And then I did a connector. Oh, it was really friendly. We were really having a great time. And then see if you can notice when I pull out my agenda. And notice what happens for you when you think that we're having a conversation and connecting, and I mention a word that's task focused. All right, so here we go. Teepa.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, great. Do you mind if I?
No, get down. Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, I like you. You're pretty.
Oh, thank you. I love your earrings.
My earrings.
Oh,
yeah. I got them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been here for a long time.
Long time. Yeah.
Do you need to go to the bathroom?
No.
What did you guys notice?
You went pretty quickly into the task.
and that was a yes/no question, which Amanda, you were just learning.
I was. What do you think she's going to say?
Now you're doing pretty good.
Well, what do you think her answer to my question is? Do you need to go to the bathroom?
No,
No.
I'm
Who
fine.
am I to her right now?
Nobody.
I mean, I'm a nice, pretty girl that
That's it.
she likes, and we're having a nice little conversation. Is this the place? Is this the time? And is there any visual that I can offer here that will make sense?
I liked your try at bathroom. That was a good one.
If she says yes, what's the danger?
She might go right there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And if she says no, is she going to want to come with me?
No, because she knows where you're taking her and she doesn't want to go there.
So what did I do without meaning to by using a word too early or out of place or without enough connection that was task driven?
Yeah. You basically shut her down, or she's going to shut you down in just a minute, possibly.
Yeah, because just because she liked me doesn't mean that we're going to be able to do this really well.
Right.
So when and where and how can we use some of these phrases? So I'm going to give you guys the next few seconds so you can see Teepa's reaction because she knows this stuff pretty well. As I said, I was just learning it. I'll go back so you get to see my faux pas one more time, and then you can see how she reacts.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, great. Do you mind if I?
No, get down. Yeah. Hey. Oh, I like you. You're pretty.
Oh, thank you. I love your earrings.
My earrings.
Oh,
yeah. I got them.
beautiful. Okay, before I go there, what would have been a great transition phrase, knowing my agenda was to get her to the bathroom? Chairs in the middle of the dining space, not a great spot to talk about the bathroom. What could I have done? This was okay. She liked that one. You've been sitting here a long time. A notice statement. What could I do next that wasn't that?
You could use a positive action starter. Any one of them you could offer, say, it's about time to go for a walk, or come with me. Can you help me? Hey, would you try something? Or it's time to something. Would you prefer this or that? Just to get her up and get her on the move.
When am I going to be a lot more useful in that phrase of going to the bathroom? When and where can I use that phrase?
When you're by the bathroom.
While we're here, it's about time. It's about time for the bathroom. Not here in the middle of the dining room. Because when I do that, and I'll go back and let you see it. I know I said I was going to let you see it, and then I just got so distracted.
Go to the bathroom? No, I'm okay. Now, poor Amanda just fell in the pit. She was doing such a nice job, and then she bothered to talk about going to the bathroom when I'm still seated. So she wants to actually break it down into smaller pieces and just say, hey, Teepa, can you come help me a minute?
All right. So thanks, Teepa, for saving me in that fumble. Asking a yes or no question, especially related to things like the shower, toileting, food, any other self-care rituals that I do by myself. What's likely going to be the answer to a yes-no question?
No.
So timing is everything. Can you use words like shower? Absolutely. When and where? Once you're in the bathroom already, prepped and ready, and it's nice and warm, ooh. Time for a shower or a wash up. Adding the visual and making it a choice rather than a yes, no can make all the difference when we're trying to get some of these tasks to match agendas.
Yeah. Joanne had a great comment about how to get her to come. She says, let's get up and walk with me. My bones are hurting.
My bones are aching. Yeah, I need your help. I'm sore. You've been sitting a long time, so have I. Let's go. I don't need a direction. I don't need a specific thing unless that's part of my agenda. I want you to come help in the kitchen because maybe you'll eat something when we're in there. But first, while we're here at the sink, let's wash our hands because that's what we do before this. Oh, and next, breaking those little bits down rather than telling you while we're seated in the games room after the game is over, we're going to go to the kitchen. We're going to wash our hands. We're going to make lunch for others. And then if you like, you could have a celery sandwich because I know you love celery. That's your favorite. You ready to go? Nope. Because I asked a yes, no, and I gave you way too much in the wrong location. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. And thanks for that question. That was a really good one because we do sometimes get a little ahead of ourselves talking around all this stuff, but we do use words like go to the bathroom or go to the toilet or wash your hands or take a shower or wash up. But when and where we use them is really important. And also keeping it as a choice rather than a yes, no, unless I really am okay with a no answer. Not right now. I hear ya. I'll be back in 5. Cool. Thanks. Keep the questions coming. And thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread Teepa's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.